Alright, Zuko, you ready?
I am. Give me a second. I'm actually hopping on as we speak. Ooh, exciting stuff.
Alright, just put the music on loop.
Yep, I saw it.
And our
It's
camera.
pretty good. Good spot.
Away we go. Pretty sure.
Hey, hello, the King 82407. What's up? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. It is me, Firelord Zuko, also known as Zazu. You know, for those who really like the bird from Lion King.
To some Americans, he's known as John Oliver.
Yes, of course.
Hello
and
to
my quiz today. Sorry, go ahead.
And hello to everybody who is now entering into the observation area. Welcome, welcome. Oh no, people are already starting to hurt each other.
Great. Love it. But they will just spawn back in here, so this should be fine, right?
Yep. Got our good moderator friend Grengoon checking everything out and making sure it's all functioning properly. So, welcome to the stream, everyone. God, that fire lags things quite a bit. But welcome. Zuko, how are you doing today, my friend?
I have hopped inside of your head. I am now in Vince Bobo Ganoush vision. I am doing great.
So
Thank you very much.
I see. Cheese Sandwich down there, the leader of the event team. Grangoon, our kind of lead-bending creator. It's like he's the one who gets the move started at the very least. Cheese testing out that new move, Wind Carry. So that is, I think, the first thing I want to go over for anybody who might be watching is we have one new move per element being tested this tournament, alongside a new stat system, but the stat system's kind of boring to go over. So
I'm gonna turn down my microphone a little bit for the viewers.
All right.
I am to myself just to make sure that my microphone's a bit lower.
If I need to turn myself down too, I can.
No, I think you were fine.
All right.
So our stat system changes basically make it so that we want to provide players with diverse builds. We don't want it so that a player basically has to fully stack into one single stat.
We're looking into people not having to min-max.
Yeah.
Because the current moves, or the current stat system, basically requires that players min-max a stat if they want to get the most out of it. If you want to move quickly, you kind of have to throw 90% of your points into speed, or else it just doesn't help.
So
only throwing 20 points into something just doesn't do much for you right now. So we've cut the number of points in half. We've added a diminishing returns formula, so the more points you put into something, the less effective it becomes, and hopefully that will get people to start spreading the points around.
Even though we did cut the amount of stat points in half, from what I've gathered, the effect of each stat point is now basically double. The reason is that because you had 6 stat points per level previously, you used to not really feel the effect of one single stat point. By cutting our stat point counts in half, we now are able to have a better feel of how much 1 point in movement speed early on gives people. It's going to be a more a bigger effect that you can actually really feel and see a difference in.
Yep. Alright, and I'd like to go over the new moves now very quickly, because they are the highlight, I think, of this. The stats are the back end, but the new moves are the upfront highlight of this tournament. Which element should we start with, Zuko?
I mean, it's fire. Always fire, right? Fire is the best.
The newest fire move is called Kickback. What it does, and you will hopefully see this in the tournament, is the player is launched into the air a few feet. They will launch a projectile. They will then start to slowly move forward, kind of like they were using Firejet, and they will automatically launch an additional 2 projectiles, one after the other. It's a little bit of mobility, it's a little bit of a dodge, and it comes with 3 different projectiles all in the same move, so it can hit multiple times. And oh, what just happened?
I think the event server is restarting for some reason. I am not sure what just happened because a lot of people disconnected. I am going to check up on things.
Sorry, folks. We have timed out here. Let me get back on. Technical difficulties are a lot of fun. Back onto event. Alright, options, chat settings, hidden. There we go. Hopefully that didn't reveal anything too darning. And I still have my invisibility, perfect. Alright, so while my good friend Zuko is in another channel figuring things out, let me quickly go over the other moves Zuko is back. Well, let's go over the other moves, because kickback is a little bit of a combo move. Multiple things in one move. Kind of flashy, a little harder to use in my mind than some of Fire's other moves, but it hits really hard if you can hit at least 2 of the projectiles. Moving on, we'll go through the cycle, and we'll switch back to air. Air gets a new move called Wind Carry. Wind Carry is a single, fairly wide projectile. And what Wind Carry does is it grabs onto a person or an entity, and I think it can grab multiple, and the user for a very short second there can kind of turn their camera to adjust where that projectile will throw the person they just picked up with it. It is a very interesting move. It can throw somebody decently high into the air, but it also grants fall protections to anyone hit. So you can't use it to cheese kills with fall damage, but you can use it to get someone out of your face. You can
it's basically a disengage move, right? Yeah.
Yep, it's a disengage, or just a disrupt. You can throw somebody to the side, you can pick up a waterbender out of water.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's quite some possibilities with that.
It takes a lot of getting used to. It takes some very quick mouse movement to get that kind of result. But I believe it also does a small bit of damage upon first grabbing someone. So it can be used just for a slight bit of damage if needed. Moving right along to water. Water, excitingly enough, has multiple changes coming its way. We will go over the new move first, because it gets Icicle Spear, or Ice Spear. I'm not entirely sure on the final title, but what this move will do is it will throw a spear of ice. If it hits a player, it does a lot of damage. If it hits the ground, it spreads ice on whatever surface it hits. I believe the arena has some blocks that aren't affected by that because they are technically monster eggs. But on most surfaces, a lot of your earth-bending blocks, I'm pretty sure on cobble, on all of your standard wood materials and stuff, it will turn it to ice, giving waterbenders yet another source for their bending. Now, the most exciting change for waterbenders, and a change that is a long time coming, is that several of their moves, including Water Whip, Water Blast, and Splash, can now be used outside of a source block as long as you have a bucket of water in your inventory. This is huge. Waterbenders no longer have to be constrained by standing in water or near ice and leaves. They are now officially able to hold their own in a desert. And that is amazing. And terrifying. Water has always had a lot of damage. And this just makes their damage so much more reliable. You can't just throw them out of the water and get them to stop bending. Now they can keep going, even if only for a limited moveset. Because Splash especially is no joke. Splash hurts. A lot.
So we have a viewer question. Why does Earth Armor add movement speed? And we're actually looking into that right now. I actually asked the person.
I believe that's a bug. I don't think it's supposed to. If anything, Earth Armor should reduce your move speed.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think wearing half a ton of dirt on you should give you a speed increase, but that's just me.
So we would like to disclaim rather carefully here that these are not the final versions of the moves that you will be seeing in our next release. We are definitely using this in an attempt to find out bugs and in an attempt to find out unbalanced aspects of our bending system, while in the meantime keeping it very very cool and friendly, having a nice event around it, having a nice tournament where people can enjoy themselves, not just having like a very boring environment where people only have to basically test.
Yep, exactly. This is the trial by fire for the stat system and for these 5 moves that are getting added. And some of you who aren't familiar with the server might go, wait, 5? Aren't there only 4 elements? No, we have non-benders as well. We are our weapon-centric class. They can chi block, they can throw bombs around, they can swipe at you with a sword. Now, to move on to our next move, we have our first non-damaging move going into Earth. And Earth gets kind of a copy of another move, but with a twist. So, airbenders are able to make an air scooter, just like Aang in the show. It puts a ball of air under them and they can ride around. Earthbenders are now getting Earth Surf. It does the exact same thing. It puts a ball of earth that they're able to ride around on. The difference is, unlike Air Scooter, it does not go over water. It ends as soon as it runs out of earth. But it can be used out as a source. So it doesn't stop on non-earth. It stops on water specifically. But if you were to, say, run alongside a wooden road, you could still earthbend with it. It will be a source for all of your earthbending moves. Or at least most of them, to my knowledge. I don't think it lets you do big earth moves like Shatter, but the Earth Surf can be a source for your Pebble Gatling Gun, your Earth Blast, and whatnot. Your Earth Shackle, primarily. Rushing at somebody with Earth Surf and shackling them is going to be a devastating move.
Another viewer question, by the way. For some reason, somebody wasn't able to use the number icon in their book, in their character book, in order to use in order to amplify their stats. Basically,
I'm assuming that means that they're not able to see the sign.
Yeah, they're not able to see the sign, or they're having issues with inputting that.
That is a known bug with, I believe, Optifine is the main culprit. So,
but in this case, it's the Batline client that thing is. Yeah.
It's like what you should be able to do is either one by one assign your points. We're so sorry, or you should be able to either tap the down arrow twice, I believe, for bending, and input the number from there, because the sign is basically just invisible. And hopefully we can get our moderators to... What we need to do is just disable that move in non-PvP zones.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, that Solar Blitz move is kind of ridiculous. But now, last but not least, especially not least because it used to be one of the most powerful things on the entire server, we will go over the new non-bender move really quickly, and it is Grappling Hook. Finally, non-benders get some mobility that is not their dash. So, non-benders, it throws out a grappling hook. If it hits an object, if it hits a wall or the floor or something, it will pull them towards it. So it can be used to not scale a building, but it can slightly boost you up it. The really interesting part is that it can be used on other players. If you hit another player, it pulls them towards you, and it also slows them pretty heavily for a second or two. It is a very good close the gap move.
So, on a couple of remarks right here. I am Firelord Zuko, admin of the server, one of the admins, and my co-host right here is Vince Boboganoush. He's a mod on our server. We are broadcasting this tournament live towards you, and this tournament is once again an ability for us to test what's working properly and what's not, where some of the issues are. We are aware of Earth Armor. We are not just banning it for now because, I mean, there is slight movement speed boost for people that are using Earth Armor.
It's nothing game-breaking. It's not crashing anyone, and it's not giving somebody 110 movement speed, zip around the battlefield, gotta go fast kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It is very, very slight.
And we didn't catch this, sadly, in our testing.
Yes. Now, Zuko, do you by chance have the bracket available?
Yes, we do. We actually have pasted it in... I can DM it to you.
It's like, if you could tell me who our first matchup is supposed to be.
Yeah, I PM'd you with the link, and I'm going to open it myself as well.
It's like, well, to view it, I'd have to hit pause on the game,
no problem.
So...
No problem. I'm opening it up. Give me a second, please. It's loading up. And our first match is going to be Kaljitsu against King Squirrel 113.
Alright, now... Cal and King are keeping their focuses hidden from us currently, so I do not know what they are. If I had to take a guess, King Squirrel, he reveals that fire focus. He is going in as a firebender, and Cal is normally an earthbender. But did he stick with that? Yes, fire and earth for this tournament. Very, very good first matchup. Fire, that heavy offense, and earth can be very offensive, but often focuses on that defense, throwing up earth cages around themselves and their opponents, throwing up earth walls to block bending. That earth shackle, the very powerful denial tool. And it looks like the match is about to get started. These are both very active and long-time players on the server. They have a lot of experience. This is not the first tournament for either player. Cheese making sure that they are getting started. Zuko, when you see the countdown, just go ahead and say it. And there is no water in the arena, as there are no water benders in the match. That will show up when they are here. And they are off. Kaljitsu immediately going for the Earth Surf as King Squirrel attempts to dive.
We can definitely see the difference between the element of fire and the element of earth right here. As a firebender, you definitely want to try and stay from a distance and keep poking the earthbender down. But what the earthbender is trying to do is they're trying to spend their huge energy moves.
There goes that earth cage and a big earth shatter. Let's get down in there and see. King Squirrel, it appears, got hit by the earth shackle and silenced, but it did not last. Both players are keeping very mobile.
Here you can see what the big difference is between firebending and earthbending. Firebending can throw poke out from a distance. You can see this fire rain coming in right now. and you can see that that King Squirrel is trying to do his best to poke from distance, as Kaljitsu is doing their best as well.
Kaljitsu finally, you can see the rock on his head, finally activates that earth armor to give himself a little bit of security there. He throws out one earth wall. The earth shackle. Oh! That earth shackle sealed it. It slows and silences, and that is the game. Kaljitsu is the winner of our first fight. Very impressive use of the newest move of Earth Surf. It is very fast, just like Air Scooter, but Earth isn't as mobile. It doesn't have as many mobility options like Air does, so I feel like Earth Surf is going to get a ton of usage just for the mobility.
By the way, I do want to preface that because I wasn't part of the scenario, Vince. I don't see the countdown either. I need to actually ask the guys to message me about this.
Okay, I thought you were in game with me. That's all right.
Yeah, I am in game with you, but I don't see the countdown in chat because we are not in GM0.
Oh, okay. I thought you could. Oh, I could have sworn you could see. Oh,
I wasn't able.
You
to
can
see
it from GM1, but
I'm in GM3.
It's like
yeah.
It's like, but I have my chat turned off. Alright, who is our next matchup? Our next matchup appears to be Mystiff, a veteran waterbender who's gone by multiple names over the years, but is consistently one of our better waterbenders, versus the Red Spirit, aka Mako, who is a not as old of a player, but he's been around a while. The match has already started, both players keeping very mobile. The Red Spirit getting in the first couple hits. Big hits coming out from Mystiff, though, as he bounces between the pools.
So here we can also see that the arena changed in order to accommodate for the waterbender. Holy moly, what happened right here?
Hold on there.
No, that was the match is getting restarted, I guess.
Yes, I believe the match is getting restarted there. I saw those damage numbers. That was not a legit kill. Alright, Mystiff is back in his corner. Let's see what happened there. Do you have any insight on what is happening right now, Zuko?
Yeah, I'm not being told anything yet, so we're waiting for they're being put back on their spots.
All right.
Yeah, either way,
just waiting for the Red Spirit. All right. I have a feeling maybe someone jumped the gun and did not let the countdown happen.
Yeah. All right.
But either way, that surprisingly worked out pretty quick. They were going pretty even there too. So if somebody jumped the gun, it's kind of hard to tell who got the advantage. All right. Fire versus water. Let's go.
All right, here we
starting off with a phase change. The Red Spirit taking heavy damage.
So as a firebender, you want to stay as close as possible, but you do want to bait out some of the important moves of the waterbender. Especially their ultimate, it's huge, and you definitely don't want to get stuck inside of it. There are some ways as a firebender to get out of the ultimate of a waterbender, but you're basically trying you're trying to deal heavy DPS to them, so they can't just keep healing on and on.
Yep, waterbenders are some of the toughest people to fight because they do have that ability, let me speak properly, to gain back health through healing. Firebenders, earthbender, and Mystiff wins. That heavy spam of Water Blast and Splash does a lot of damage, and Splash is hard to avoid. It doesn't get reoriented like some of the other moves do. You can't aim it manually, but it does have a very wide hitbox. Very, very impressive waterbending from Mystiff, as usual. Excellent, excellent job. Who do we have up next?
I'm getting in touch with Cheese, who's our organizer of the event. It seems to be that the next people are going to be Zinnik versus GameCube Dude. We're going to wait for a confirmation on this.
Let's check out our crowd, all of our lovely, lovely people.
Yeah, GameCube Dude versus Zinnik.
Alright. I was trying to see if any of them happen to be in the crowd at this moment, but it does not appear that they are.
Facts.
Zinnik, I believe, is usually an airbender.
Hello there, Rorona O'Bandit. My apologies if I butchered your name. But, you know, on the topic of butchering, if you are interested in having access to cool professions and whatnot, join us on our next release, soon TM. We don't have a date yet, but
Alright.
we will have.
We do have both of our parties in here. We have our Earthbender Zinnik versus our Airbender Guru. Look at that magnificent beard with GameCube Dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, I believe
we are
Cheese
waiting.
will be getting.
Yep.
It appears that Zinnik is ready. Thought I saw him crouch spamming.
They're asking whether they're ready, and that's when they will start. They're asking
Dude
whether they're ready.
should be getting started here any second now.
Okay, they are ready, and we're about to start. Ladies and gentlemen, an Earthbender versus an Airbender. And this matchup is basically mostly about the Earthbender trying to catch the Airbender off guard.
Yep. Already, GameCube Dude taking some heavy damage, staying out of range, that Earth Shackle missing vitally. Airbenders are not good when they cannot bend. Nor are most benders, but airbenders are especially crippled when they can't bend because they cannot escape. And that is what air is best at. That reflect coming out just a little late. GameCube Dude in some trouble here. He has landed very few hits compared
and he's
to
not
Zinnik.
flying up. This is what airbenders should not be doing. They should be trying to fly up and kite the airbender around as much as they can. But see, that was a very beautiful earth blast right across the reflecting wall.
Yeah, that reflect coming out, not actually reflecting anything. Oh, that Earth Shackle missing. He can't seem to quite get... Yep, the Wind Slam, the potential equalizer of this fight. The Earth Cage comes out to block a little bit. So does the Earth Wall. GameCube Dude is in for a rough time because he is just not landing enough hits. That Wind Slam probably evened things out, but it did not do enough. There comes out the Wind Carry. He's at a pretty high distance. And
the Shackle hits!
And the Shackle hits. Let's see how much he can capitalize on it. Surprisingly, that Air Shock did not hit Zinnik right there. GameCube Dude needs to turn and fight his opponent. He is running for his life. Good air shock right there. Zinnik is running down this poor airbender, and Zinnik takes the match. An excellent display of earthbending, and an excellent demonstration on why the airbender tactic of dodge and evade and run away just doesn't cut it. It just doesn't. It doesn't cut it because you can't win a fight if you don't throw any punches.
You need to dodge and throw punches.
But he spent so much time running and facing away from his opponent, he couldn't deal that much damage.
So if you, just as a couple of viewer questions or people also in Discord, if you guys have any issues, I mean, if you're not able to show up, please make sure to tell Cheese Sandwich. He's a mod on our Discord. He's like right up there in the list. Cheese Sandwich. That's the person who organizes the event. So if you need anything, you should definitely message him about this. So yeah, we saw right there that airbending, even though the Zinnik's opponent was trying to dodge his moves, Zinnik was actually really rotating around his moves. His Earth Blast across the walls, the Shackle that hit was pretty huge. He was able to hit a I think a shatter that was on low energy, but still did impactful damage.
Yep, Shatter. I believe Shatter doesn't do that much less damage on low energy. It just has a much lower hitbox.
Yeah, but since, the shackle hit, the airbender couldn't move anywhere, and that's how he hit the move. It was an excellent move by Zinnik. His aim was spot on. Definitely great job by Zinnik.
And I would like to thank the crowd that has come out for this. This is probably one of the single highest turnout tournaments we've had, participation-wise, and just people coming in to see what it's all about. Now, it does look like Plague Doctor.
Yeah, Plague Doctor against
Jackhammer Jack. If
yes.
that is not a pro wrestling name, I do not know what is. But both on that waterbender. So will we see a battle of attrition for healing, or will this be a very aggressive match? We will find out here soon.
Mind you, I think that the person who is able to cancel the other person's healing while being able to heal to full themselves is going to get a massive advantage this round.
Yes, but healing did receive a very large rework. Not quite a nerf, but a rework. You have to be able to stand still for several seconds to use it, and they are off, both going for that same pool of water, both diving past each other.
Plague Doctor got caught in a small cage right there.
I believe that was a cage of his own creation. Plague Doctor staying out of the water for now, finally making the jump away. Will either of them capitalize on the ice? For that
so as you might know already, see,
Plague
there's
Doctor,
a healing.
Yep, he heals, but then he... And
Ooh.
there is the bug that we were aware of. He tried to bend while healing and sent too many packets.
Yeah.
I believe Water Heal is going to be banned for the rest of the tournament, not because of its power, but because we cannot keep resetting matches due to the bugginess of it. We were hoping that we had fixed it, but it looks like we will need to disable healing for yet another tournament.
We will need to see. We're currently considering.
Oh,
and
it looks like the fight is just going to continue as if nothing happened.
Cheese Sandwich wants to redo this match, so...
It's like, well, nobody changed their health state. Nobody healed there, so they are back exactly where they were, and Plague Doctor goes down. This is going to be a rematch?
I think that it was, right? Like that's what we said in local chat as well, and in
all right, folks, this will be a rematch. I believe, though, as I stated a minute ago, that Water Heal will be banned simply because it is causing these disconnect bugs, and that is just unfortunate. Jackhammer Jack back in place. Plague Doctor back in the arena. Round 2, Electric Boogaloo.
One sec.
What do we got? Plague Doctor with that fancy suit. Alright. Well, while we are waiting for things to get started again, I would like to thank some of the sponsors of this event. First and foremost, Cabbage Corp, having its reputation and property ruined by the Avatar for the last 100 years.
All right, we have a verdict on the ruling. We will not be disabling water healing,
but we will be banning its use.
No, we're not banning abuse. We will not be disabling water healing. We won't be banning the use of it. But if you do end up crashing because of the use of water healing, be warned, you will be disqualified from that match. You will be losing that match. We're not going to be remaking matches, so use water healing at your own discretion.
Yep.
Um,
Because it was stated originally that to use it, you had to stand still.
yeah.
If you try to move around and continue bending while using it, it will kick you from the server. That is...
Yeah,
I think that is fair. We've told people how to use it and in what way it doesn't crash everything. So hopefully things will return to normal here in a moment.
All right. We are waiting for our event organizers to get ready. A broadcast is made as well right here, and let's read it out loud. Notice to all waterbenders, water healing can cause a glitch due to sending too many packets, which will cause you to disconnect if you use another move at the same time. Use at your own risk. We will not be redoing any further matches due to this. Good luck. Which means that the person disconnecting is going to be the person losing, because they have been warned now. Alright. Are we ready?
I believe everyone is ready.
Alright, Cheese
Our
is
combatants
coming
are
in.
squaring up. Plague Doctor is looking to win this one, to redeem himself for that
Plague
previous
Doctor is
loss,
ready.
for that previous disconnect. Jackhammer Jack also
He is also
appears
ready.
All right,
Let's go.
3, 2, and they're off.
Yes. So once again,
Trying for that dolphin dive. They're taking some pretty even hits on each other right now. Plague Doctor standing still for a second there. Perhaps a little bit of lag on his end. The high tide comes out.
Ooh.
And the high
misses
tide...
completely.
Jackhammer Jack actually is getting hit by that, it seems. I do not know what's happening.
Just on the side.
Plague Doctor doing some heavy damage. Jumping out of
Yeah,
the water.
he ran into the side. So here is the strategy that the Plague Doctor is trying to employ. Right, he's trying to move around while poking Jackhammer Jack as much as possible. Even though that high tide missed, he's still flying around the area trying to poke and dodge the effects at the same time. But he gets hit a lot.
Yep.
And he still gets hit
he's
even
just
while
taking
dodging.
too much damage in return. He's not. The jumping around does mean that you're not getting enough. You're not getting as many hits in. The more you dodge, the less you're attacking. There has to be that balance of damage dealt versus time spent dodging damage. Because you can't win a fight by... So hold on, who's our next fight?
I said great fight by Jackhammer Jack, my bad.
Yes, Jackhammer Jack was doing very well. He was taking a very large advantage of waterbenders not having to stay in their source blocks anymore, being able to hold that water bucket.
Yeah.
He was just standing right outside it, and waterbenders can move decently quickly in water, but it does still hinder your movement. So while Jackhammer Jack was able to kind of dodge left and right while on solid land, Plague Doctor, he just kept getting slowed down by the water. And
our next matchup... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to point out that also taking that damage meant that he kept trying to dolphin dive to jump out of the water and kept getting caught.
So our next matchup is Banana Virus versus 17 JLED. I don't know.
Banana
Please.
Virus, an airbender versus 17 Jaleed.
Jaleed. Great. That's how we're going to pronounce it, guys. We're butchering all the names today. No problem.
That is all right, because no name on here is easy to pronounce unless it is from the show.
Yep.
All right. It looks like our combatants are ready to go. At least Banana Virus is.
Yep,
now,
they are both ready.
Two fairly new players, if I recall correctly. There they go. 17 Jaleed immediately jumping out.
Ooh,
the wind slam immediately I saw that air scooter, and
Yeah, right into
Jalid
it.
said no.
And as you can see, this fight is basically about poking each other out because
Yep.
the intent
And
here
I
is.
will point this out that a lot of air versus air matchups, that Wind Slam won't accomplish as much because a lot of air's moves give them fall protections,
Yeah.
but Air Scooter is not one of them. So he was taking full fall damage from that unless he activated Featherweight in the middle of it. But the
Here
two
we can
players,
see another
and
wind slam,
and that's Banana
and the
Virus throwing
damage
out
is
the Wind
landing.
Slam. But Jalid getting and the Air Twister, dealing a little bit of fall damage there. He did not end the toggle. He clearly ran out of energy there before the move ran out. Banana Virus jumping in. They're trading Air Spears back and forth. Which Air Spear has a higher cooldown now, so it is not as spammable as it used to be. The Air Twister coming out from Jalid, but he's not able to get it to connect. Out comes the Air Scooter. Oh, and the Wind Carry out of the Air Scooter. Very impressive.
What is pretty interesting to see as well is that we can see the stats of both these players. They are all employing a small focus on strength. Banana Virus more so than 17J lead.
And 17
went down.
lead dies to an air shock. Congratulations, Banana Virus, on a fantastic victory. Jalid took the early advantage there with that Wind Slam, but was not able to maintain that momentum.
The bracket was requested, so I posted it in chat. It was well played by Banana Virus. It was a very
well played.
close.
And I will say that both of them were very aware of each other's mobility. Banana Virus, in the past, I would have said that Air Scooter is less reliable of a movement option, but he was using it to great effect. I will especially throw it out there that the rushing your opponent with Air Scooter into the new Wind Carry move to kind of knock them back, very, very interesting combo. We'll have to see if any other airbenders end up using it.
Both airbenders had a small focus on strength, though they were spending their other points into bending energy, regeneration, and vitality. Both these airbenders made that specific choice, though Banana Virus was the one with the more balanced approach. They went for a more balanced approach, as in they spent 25 in each of these the stat, whereas J-Lead spent a bit more into strength. My apologies, I made a small mistake there during casting the match.
That is all right, and that, I think, is kind of demonstrative of the diminishing returns, because I think Banana Virus there was able to get a little more out of his stat points because he didn't focus them as heavily into one stat.
We are getting some information right now. We had some sign-ups on our Discord, and some people haven't showed up. So some of these people are moving on instantly to the next round. One of those is Wur. He's moving on since Shyla didn't show up. Powerful Pig and Noodle 360 also didn't show up, it seems, and therefore are both, I think, disqualified from the tournament. And we are currently looking at Sambi and Benito, whether they are here right now. Otherwise, we're going to be moving into round 2.
Round 2, and I believe round 2 is going to start off. I can see a little bit of that on my other monitor. It looks like Firelord Azumi and Kaljitsu. Am I seeing this correctly?
That would be the next match if we are going into round 2, I think. We're waiting still for confirmation.
Now I want to go ahead and get a little bit of commentary on that one, because Kaljitsu, as we saw in round 1, is no slouch as an earthbender. He is... Yep. It's like he is not as long time of a player as someone like Izumi, but he has shown his skill admirably. Firelord Azumi, is another longtime member of the server, current member of the mod team, and has an excellent showing both as a firebender and an earthbender in the past. It will be interesting to see whether this is an earth mirror match, or whether Izumi will pull back out his firebending.
So one slight announcement too. Benito against Sambi. Also, Benito is present and Sambi isn't. Therefore, Benito, as you can see on your screen right here, is moving on to the next round on default as well. We are looking at whether... Yeah, we're setting up the next match. Round 2 is starting soon. You can see Izumi best avatar. Yes,
currently
it's a very
known as
bad
best
name.
avatar.
Yeah, very bad name. I'm very displeased about it. Used to be my daughter, now it's best avatar. I am calling him out right now on stream. This is inappropriate.
And,
I wish they would
Izumi
go back
appears to have gone not only for air, which is not his usual bending, but for the newly nerfed air. Air has received several cooldown nerfs due to how spammable it has been in the past. Kaljitsu, of course, sticking with his earth bending. People normally don't change their bending during the tournament.
We're checking up on some ready checks. In the meantime, just making sure that you guys are aware, this is a very new Twitch channel, so we are not affiliated yet, or we are not partner yet, so that means that you cannot subscribe to our channel yet. But if you like the content, you can follow us and, spread the word. We would definitely like to grow this channel a bit more as well as we go and see how far it can make it.
We plan on casting all of the future tournaments.
Yeah.
And we also plan on casting other events and perhaps just some casual server gameplay occasionally. That wind carry coming out from Izumi,
Yep.
Kaljitsu throwing out big damage, the air spears coming out.
Look
Here
at that
comes the
earth surf.
It looks goofy, but he
It's
is
funny.
keeping up with Izumi's best efforts to avoid him.
Hit him with that 25
Oh,
damage.
there comes
Well
out the
played.
air jump.
Missed that shot. Oh,
The earth shock. Oh, the wind carry keeping Kaljitsu at a distance. A little bit of lag there, folks. Izumi
we can
making good use of that sidestep air dodge from midair. Out comes the earth shackle. It does not land. Oh, but there goes the earth shatter. Both
In
players
this match-
appear to be standing there. Out
And
comes
the wind
wind
slam is hitting. So here we can see Izumi is actually employing a very similar strategy as our previous two airbenders. However, Izumi actually opted in to go for penetration instead of vitality for his third stat, basically. But still, well-rounding his three stat choices pretty much.
Yep, and it is all about the do you think you can dodge enough to not need those extra health points that vitality gives. Because
Kaljitsu, however, has also a three-way tie on his stats. Oh, but he goes down!
And Izumi falls. Izumi, one of our more prominent members of the community, going down so early in the tournament, but an excellent showing nonetheless, still showing that air holds its own even after all of these nerfs. An excellent showing nonetheless. Earthbending is always a tough opponent to go against because they are so defensive, and their moves tend to hit pretty reliably because they cover large areas.
In Twitch chat, we have a question from Quietdove, an early contender for the fight of the tournament here. We will probably see some really interesting fights in our semi and finals and the finals.
Yep.
There have been some really, really interesting matchups still coming up.
Fight of the tournament remains to be seen. I will say that is probably one of the more impressive fights we've seen thus far.
Yeah.
Because they are both highly skilled and highly experienced benders.
I am definitely looking out for another matchup later on in this round 2, which is a Storm Sky versus Norby. two very good benders, and I'm looking very forward to that match. It's not the upcoming match. The upcoming match is between Kevin Y3 and wait, no,
Bandit Secret.
No, because Bandit Secret wasn't able to join in the moment.
Oh,
so our next match
Bandit was here earlier, so my mistake.
Yeah, no problem. But it's between Neutrino Bio and Just a Shill. Yes, that's our next matchup.
All right, Neutrino Boy and Just a Shill. Water versus fire seems to be a very common matchup this tournament.
Yeah. I love seeing more firebenders, honestly.
And honestly, this is the biggest turnout we've seen from the waterbenders in a while, but that is probably due to the fact that they don't have to be stuck in the pond the entire time they fight, which tends to be the standard strategy for water. Now,
by the way,
what'll be interesting is, will they make use of the leaves and the ice, especially with the new Ice Spear move?
So I am very interested in seeing people making use of the leaves specifically because of the poison effect. A lot of people don't actually know about this, but when you stand on leaves and you use waterbending moves and you hit somebody, you actually apply a poison effect on that person as well. This is very interesting because it can actually turn the tides, right? Applying consistent poison damage, ticking down, and this is a war of nutrition, right?
Yep.
So we are trying.
Out comes Neutrino Boy taking the first few hits.
Just a Shill
having a difficult time landing some hits because Neutrino is, one, staying highly aggressive, and two, staying highly distant from the fight.
As we saw a moment ago,
Neutrino Boy throwing himself into the sky there.
As we saw a moment ago, Neutrino Boy actually hit a headshot with his flame shot. Mind you, when you hit headshots with your flame shot, you actually deal a lot more damage. It's like 1.5 times the amount of damage. So mind you, try and go for that head if you can. It's pretty challenging to hit that.
I am not liking Just a Shill's chances here right now. He needs to land some serious damage in order to catch up.
And they need to try and heal, but are they going to be able to heal? Because mind you, if they keep spamming abilities right after they heal, they might get disconnected and disqualified.
Now, if Shill can get up an ice cage for just a moment, either around himself or his opponent, he might be able to get some healing off.
Ooh, and Just a Shill does go down.
But
well played by Neutrino Boy.
To be what's about to happen. Neutrino Boy is the current winner. Excellent showing.
Good job.
An excellent display of why fire, because fire, I feel like has been slept on for quite a while as kind of boring and maybe a little underwhelming, but it hits so hard. And it is relentless. Fire has the fewest non-combat moves. It doesn't have as much mobility, it doesn't have as much utility or defensiveness, but it does a lot of damage. And it's hard to avoid everything a firebender can throw at you at once.
Yeah,
it's like if you
but that's the strength of a firebender. They have no real regeneration whatsoever. They have no ability to heal. Our next matchup is going to be between the King 824, our Twitch chatter, very well, much appreciated, and James the Dragon.
All right, this will be an Earth versus non-bender. All
yes.
right, hold on. Did the match actually start yet?
The match did not start yet.
I don't believe so. Hold on, that's a foul. That is a
foul move. But it's fine. We're resetting it.
Thank you for the lovely fireworks display, Izumi.
Yes.
All right, James
Are
the Dragon,
we ready?
Earthbender. Now, this is an excellent chance to talk about non-bender, because non-bender is almost... It's not quite a fully ranged class. They have a lot of throwing bombs. They have a throwing knife and a blow dart, but their bread and butter is being able to dash in on their opponent and slash at them with that sword.
Usually, on our live server right now, non-benders stack a lot of movement speed because they don't have a lot of ability to get closer to their enemies, and that's what they need to try and do in order to hit some of their hard-hitting moves. Though in this matchup, the king does have some movement speed spec'd into, but mostly more so
I'm
bending and
surprised he's not trying to land a grapple. Because if he can land that grappling hook, he will slow his opponent down as well as pull them. And getting them in
perhaps
close.
a new bending move, so this might be new for them, and they might not
Yep.
be used to this yet.
I feel like both of these players are new faces to the tournament. I am not recognizing either of their names. And that Earth Cage blocking that rain of arrows there. Oh, the slash coming out.
That did a lot of damage to James the Dragon. Can James the Dragon do this? Oh, but he did dodge that.
He's on
other.
the run, and oh, that Falcon Strike, that jump in the... Oh, there's the Falcon Strike, and oh!
Dang.
Rough going there. The King, 824,
Rest in peace, James the Dragon.
taking a victory. It's like very impressive to ever see a non-bender. Now, non-benders do have a lot of damage. Do not get me wrong. They hit really hard, but they don't have as good a mobility as a lot of the other elements do. It's a little less consistent.
Well played.
Surprisingly, the grappling hook never came out. I was kind of hoping to see somebody use it to get a good dodge in by connecting with the floor or the wall.
So we are actually seeing some matchups going through as well, as some people are still not showing up. Shooted Star is moving up to round 3 because Misubi has not shown up yet, and so is Gentekian because their opponent Infernus 7896 has also not showed up yet.
Alright, the next match between the Airbender Gel 964 and me, the awesome kid, on fire.
Yes.
Another excellent fireworks show. And now
Thank you.
they square each other up. The air versus fire matchup, the person with all of the mobility in the world versus the class or the bending without as much mobility. Firebenders can jump around, but airbenders can jump around for days. And
By the way, guys, if you figure out, if you find a cool spot or a cool match that you would like to record, you can always create clips on this channel. We definitely appreciate people creating highlights and whatnot, and perhaps we might use them for further future content, so stay tuned.
Alright, and it looks like the match is about to get underway. Let's see what these two can do. And they're off. Air Spear immediately coming out. There goes the Fire Jet and the Flare Blitz. The Wind Slam immediately from Gel. And, oh, that I believe is unintentional. I believe you should not be able to use any moves while Wind Slamming. Though he maybe canceled it. That Wind Carry came out really fast. Though I believe it was counterproductive because Wind Carry put him out of the range. Ran into the wall there and took some suffocation damage, it looks like.
So the firebender in this case is trying to poke the airbender as much as they can from a distance, still while hitting them, and the goal of the airbender is to hit in short burst ranges. This is why you see proficient airbenders actually just jump up in the air and burst down, because they have their little timings, their little windows, where they can actually really make a lot of stuff happen as the airbender.
Yep, and Gel's kind of stood in the firewall there a little earlier, so I don't think his health is looking good. That fireball missed, as did that flare blitz. His fire shot's coming out though. Oh, another wind slam, but
didn't fully
he was
hit him.
able to get out of it.
But me, the awesome kid, is very low. I feel like they're both very low. This is a very close matchup.
That firewall coming out again, giving some distance. That flare blitz does miss. The fire shot's backing him into the firewall for the kill there. The awesome kid doing a fantastic job. I'm not
Would you
entirely
say
sure why
doing-
he's holding a water bucket, but that was still a wonderful showing of the
Would
power
you say
of fire.
they're doing?
Though
Would you
I
say they're doing an awesome job? I'm sorry, guys. I have to obviously make a joke like that. I mean,
Alright,
come on. I
but,
wouldn't.
but I would like to
joke.
point out that Gel did not play that match wrong. He was doing
Yeah.
exactly what an airbender should do, an equal part of jumping around and avoiding, plus throwing out your air spears, throwing out your burst, doing what you need to do to deal damage. Because that is the mistake a lot of airbenders make, is they focus on the dodge, but they don't focus on the attacking. Now, next up we have Hub City Hero on water versus Mocha Gaming, the Firebender.
We do have to announce one thing right here, just before all of this happens. Needy Awesome Kid actually is unable to join in the next round, so gave up their victory over Gel just a moment ago, and Gel is going to be the person proceeding to the next round. Just for clarity purposes.
All right, I will.
Yeah.
It's like I will say that Gel did not disappoint in that match, so I think him moving on will not be a huge problem.
Yeah.
It's not like he got bowled over completely and then got to move on. I think this will be a fine turn of events. We are sorry, Me Awesome Gaming Kid, that you were not able to continue on in the tournament. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Mocha Gaming, a relative newcomer to the server, versus Hub City Hero, who I believe is also a relative newcomer.
Another
this is
fire versus water matchup.
My goodness, this is just the theme of the tournament for right now. Water versus fire, and off he goes with that dolphin dive, getting hit by the flare blitz mid-air. They're both throwing out some ranged moves, trying to keep each other on their toes.
Pretty interesting
Hub
stat
City
distribution, though.
have... Okay, he does have a water bucket. He just threw out a... Threw out a water whip there. Hopped in the water just in time to avoid the fire rain.
There is a very interesting stat distribution as well that Hub City Hero went for because of the diminishing returns on consecutive stat investments. They actually put 1 point into bending energy regen, movement speed, penetration, and protection just to get that tad bit of stat point. The most efficient one, the first one basically, from each of these stats, and is heavily investing into strength. Though here we see another one of those classic mistakes, using fire rain on somebody inside of the water, just like firebomb is not going to hit.
It's like, and while it can still work if they happen to jump out of the water, generally if they see that fire rain go into the air, they are not going to leave the water until they know it's gone.
We saw that beautiful fire kick move right there.
I believe that is a misclick right there, going ahead and activating the high tide. I don't think that is what Hub City Hero intended to do there.
Yeah. Ooh, but actually dies to fall damage, I think. Yep, Mocha Gaming died to fall damage. Forgot to let go of their earthly feather. So he would not be proud of Mocha Gaming right now.
Mocha Gaming, admittedly, fire is probably the easiest element to die to fall damage with, because Flare Blitz, while it can launch you into the air, only provides a split second of that fall damage resistance. Hub City Hero moves on to round 3.
Dancing their victory dance as well.
Yes,
very
dancing their
beautiful.
victory dance. I would like to compliment them on their skin. This is excellent, excellent waterbender skin. Why are they putting me in a blizzard? That is just rude, sir.
Not an excellent waterbending skin anymore.
I take it all back. Your skin is terrible and you should feel bad about it. Alright.
So, we have some more matchups going through to the next round. Where it's also going through once again.
Alright, I'd like to stop you right there real quick because we have Mystiff versus Barely Decisive. Barely Decisive, one of our newer chat mods, and Mystiff, as we saw earlier, an excellent, excellent waterbender.
And while they're getting ready, just to kind of close up on these, the King 824 is also moving on versus. No, wait. Oh, wait. My bad. That's already a fight that happened. So Kali is moving on against Swiss Saber because Swiss Saber never showed up. And they are all the people. Yeah, I need to look at.
All right, barely decisive. Please pull out your
My bad.
focus so that we can tell the good people at home what you're using.
His fists! Or her fists. My bad. Her fists.
Will she beat
Fist
people
bending.
to death with her fists? She appears to be AFK at the moment. Unless she is chatting.
Their fists. Her fists.
My stuff over here, ready as always. Attempting to punch the cameraman. Very rude of you, sir.
The
But
cameraman.
I cannot deny my stuff's talents.
Barely decisive seems to be AFK for now, that is, but we do not know. They are offline on Discord as well. Dun, dun, dun.
Alright, pull the camera back here a little bit.
Are we postponing this match or waiting?
And we will await the event.
Bandit Secret telling us that we might not say anything nice about Bandit Secret, but Bandit Secret, you should probably know that we are the most unbiased broadcasters that you will ever see. So by default, we will always tell you that you're the worst waterbender ever. Just kidding. You know.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, no problem. What? Why did we time out? Wait, what? Gentechian Prime. Why did we time out Gentechian Prime? Did you do that, Vince?
No, I did not do that.
What the hell?
I currently cannot give any commands right now, so I think we are going to go ahead and start with our next matchup. We're going to postpone that one, it looks like. We're going to bring back in Zinnik versus Clearwater 91.
Yes.
Earth versus Fire. Can Earth's defenses triumph over the absolute brutality and ferocity of firebending? And they are carrying a water bucket. What is with the firebenders carrying water buckets? Do you really think that you're going to need to douse yourself from your own flames? Because I don't think that's how it works.
I think the Gentechian Prime may have posted the link in chat. I'm trying to unmute them. Let's go ahead and try and...
Alright.
But I'm not able to
Hold
right
up.
now.
Did the match actually just start there? Oh, there
How do
they
we jump?
go. And they're off.
Yep.
The fire armor coming out immediately, as well as the Earth catapult.
So this is
No one
Earth.
has taken damage just yet. Very
Once again-
impressive for nobody to have taken damage for 5 seconds.
The plan here for the
Oh.
firebender is to stay at a relative big distance so that the shatter and other moves like that cannot hit. So Clearwater seems to be...
Alongside just the moves not hitting, when Earth bends, they create all of these little debris fields that make movement very difficult. So
Exactly.
the further away you stay, the better your chances are. And the ferocity coming out, a lot of fireball spam. Unfortunately, not the easiest move to land, even though it does a fair amount of damage. Oh, that Earth Shackle not quite connecting, but the Earth
I'm not
Shatter
sure
connecting.
what Water is looking at right there. And they are only using
Fireball.
the
And
Fireball
Fireball
because
is
they
like
have
Fireball's not a bad move, but it is
The reason-
a hard move to land because it can't be redirected like Fire Shot can.
the reason that they're only able to use it as well is because they are using the water bucket in their offhand for some weird reason, and they're not able to open up their bending focus, and they die because of this. They were not able to use any of their other bending moves.
Alright, I would like to give advice to the good people at home. Holding something else in your offhand does not let you switch bending moves. Do not do that.
I need to fix this issue though. I am going to be looking into why the Gentechian Prime was timed out, and I'm going to try and unban at least.
All
There.
right. Moving right along, it
Rampage
hopefully
is trying to
barely
find
decisive is finally back because Mystiff has re-entered the arena, which presumably means that barely
Yep.
decisive, yes, is also
Yes,
back.
we are back.
And barely decisive is running Earth. Will she be able to hold up to Mystiff? Barely decisive, jumping for joy at finally not being AFK.
And I would like to remind everybody of our server rules. Even if you are in game and you're writing, make sure you don't say NSFW stuff, guys. Come on.
Yep.
All right. Water versus Earth, right? No.
Yep,
yeah,
water versus Earth, barely decisive, finally throwing out that Earth Shatter, not quite aiming it in the right direction. Mystiff landing a lot of very, very fast hits.
And we can. Oh my!
Wow.
Missed
Barely
just
was,
destroyed that.
to pardon the pun, barely able to fight back.
Hey.
Mystiff wins that one in a relative landslide. He is currently attacking the cameraman. I wish I could dock him points for it, but he is just dominating so far. I would like to congratulate him on his victories. Barely, I suggest going to the Fire Nation arena and training a little before entering the next tournament.
Holy moly! Those were some really good hits as well from my staff, though.
Oh yeah, my stuff, that was constant. It's like rotating, it's like that constant waterbender tactic of water blast, water bolt, splash, jump to a new puddle, water blast, water bolt, splash, run to a new puddle. Except now you don't even need to run to a puddle of water. All you really need to do is just switch between the moves.
This is going to be a very, very interesting matchup between Stormsky and Norby. Water versus air is going to be very interesting. These two players are very good at their element, long-time users of their elements too. So let's see what's going to happen right here. As air is trying.
Now the difference, this used to be a very boring matchup because air would stay away from the water so that waterbenders didn't have the range. And then waterbenders would consistently stay in their puddles and would heal off the damage, which meant the fights lasted a long time because the waterbender could never quite get aggressive because the airbender would stay far enough away from the water that they couldn't just jump in on them. Water buckets are going to change a lot here because now the waterbender can just dolphin dive out of the water and throw their entire kit at an airbender.
Even now you see some of the remainders of that matchup too, because these two players are so used to playing in this matchup that they are trying to do that. But now you can see Stormsky is trying to make an aggressive move onto Norby right here.
Yep. Oh, that air burst coming out and keeping him away. That particle effect y'all are seeing, that is the water form of Blizzard. What it does, it prevents your energy from regenning, and it creates a massive slowing field around you. Now eventually he's going to have to switch that off because he'll run out of energy. But in the meantime, anytime Norby gets near him, he's going to be slowed pretty significantly. And given that Storm Scythe can just dive out of the water like that, he can get Norby in that field pretty easily. Norby making a high jump.
Let's also make sure that we call Stormsky by the correct pronoun, I think is what it's called. She is a female indeed.
Alright, apologies.
No problem.
I am not as familiar with Storm Scythe.
They are my member in my town.
It's like they're a relatively new player in my mind, but they are a quite experienced waterbender.
I believe that Stormsky can do it.
Norby making some very good dodges now. Storm Scythe has not used healing yet, and they did take a fair bit of damage early on, and they are keeping up that water blizzard. How much energy regen do they have?
I can look that up for you real quick.
Because I feel like, okay, They just switched over to the ice form of Blizzard, and this one does pure damage. But will they be able to reach Norby before it runs out?
They have similar stat point investments, bending energy, strength, but Norby has invested into movement speed as Stormskite has invested into, penetration. But they are split out completely, instead of just focusing on...
And Storm Scythe goes down. Norby was finally able to chip their health low enough to finish them off. Norby makes it into the next round. Storm Scythe, better luck next time, my friend.
Beautiful dance, Norby. We're proud of you. Good job. Well played.
And hold on. Who gave them one of the moves from a dungeon? Hold on. Yeah. We're gonna have to chat with some moderators on that one, because that was completely uncalled for. Alright, moving on. We have Benito 2710 versus Mitsuoni. I am not entirely sure how to pronounce that.
Mitsuoni. And we're still in round 2, guys. So definitely making some progress through round
versus...
As we're crossing the 1 hour mark right now. And Mitsuoni is a... You can actually hold... well, you can't hold... Can you hold tab, by the way?
I cannot. I've got that all disabled.
Let me just see. Mitsuoni. I cannot see their name. They are a non-bender.
Ooh, non-bender.
They are not
also, from their lack of movement, appear to be AFK.
Yeah. So we are waiting for a response from Mitsuoni. Benito is definitely...
It feels like we've had a waterbender on every single match. We've had a lot of waterbenders.
Yep, Mitsuoni seems to be AFK.
But I will give them this. The fact that they can use a bucket now for most of their or for several of their moves is a huge buff. Probably the biggest buff we've seen for any given element.
So we are waiting. We're waiting for confirmation from the staff.
Hello, it's Swanee.
We'll pass this match for now, and we will move on to Banana versus Icy Creeper. Banana Virus versus Icy Creeper. Banana Virus in their previous match against 17 Jalid was able to get the upper hand. If we remember properly, I think Banana Virus is a waterbender.
Yep, I believe so. Banana Virus, the waterbender, versus Icy Creeper Lord.
That is the... Yeah, they are responding, so they are here. Icy Creeper Lord.
The Firebender. So, again, following the pattern of the tournament, fire versus
water. Versus fire. Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen this much representation for these two elements in a tournament. This is exciting. Generally speaking, tournaments tend to be a lot of air and a lot of earth. Water and fire tend to be relatively underrepresented, and non-benders kind of stay consistent. Not a lot of them, but they are consistently chosen.
The reason I think as well is because people want to definitely try out their, water bending without a bucket, with a bucket without a water source. They definitely want to try it out. And
go ahead and pick up this water bucket.
They need it.
Oh, what? Why did they drop it then?
There you go.
Oh no, they're an airbender. They don't need the water bucket.
Wait. Oh, did they change the elements? I think they were waterbenders.
I could have sworn they were a waterbender. I guess people are able to change their element. Okay then, air versus fire. The air scooter comes out. The air twister not really landing. Icy Creeper Lord managing to keep the pressure on with those fire slashes.
I mean, we are aware of the fire versus air matchup by now, right? It's a poke-heavy matchup where the airbender is trying to poke the firebender with short bursts of damage and is trying to move out of range, while the firebender is trying to throw around consistent DPS And here is one of those examples where you see Windslam hitting and bursting the Firebender down. Now the Airbender should be looking to buy some time. Instead, is going to go and try and get into close combat with the Firebender, which is not advised.
Not advised at all. Firebenders can deal heavy damage very quickly. That new Wind Carry move coming out, though, and giving them some distance. These air spears are not on target. Comes out the air kick. An air spear finally lands, and the solar burst comes out.
Misses
The
completely
keep
out.
away from me Firebender move. An excellent usage of it just to keep Banana Virus at a distance. Oh, that air burst hitting him, and he didn't have fall resistance, so he did take some fall damage from that. Creeper Lord is, getting hit once again by that Wind Slam. But that Wind Slam does...
And it kills.
Oh, Banana Virus. Did he die to fall damage there?
Yes, inside of the Wind Slam. The Wind Slam fall.
Alright. Banana Virus taking his second win. Performing very admirably this tournament. Congratulations, good sir. An excellent showing. So I believe those Wind Slams were what sealed the deal. It is a very powerful move. Though it does have a long cooldown, it cannot be relied on.
By the way, I would like to remind you that Yella, it's not Jelly or Jella. It's Yella. I hope you can pronounce it properly.
Yella?
It's a Dutch name.
Okay.
Yeah, great. That's
Sorry.
him right there.
Yellow.
That's
I
Yella
am so
9.
sorry for pronouncing your name wrong. I am an ignorant American.
Yeah, it's easy. Come on. It's easy to mistake pronunciations. It's hard to get everything right. I was just pointed at it, so that's why. All right. Our next matchup is going to be between. We are actually looking at Kevin Y3, I think, versus Bandit. Yes? Are they here? Let's see. We're actually waiting for a confirmation right here. And yes, I am Dutch, Yella. So that's why I was able to find out. In fact, all three of our admins are Dutch for some weird reason. We have a question from Stormskite. How does one worship Vatu? Well, it's very simple, Stormskite. You worship Vatu by going to the Tree of Time and picking up some leaves from the vine of the Tree of Time. Exactly. Just like that. Just like that. That's how you worship Vatu, basically. Alright, our next matchup is probably going to be Bandit's Secret against Kevin Y3. We're actually waiting for a confirmation here because they're trying to figure out whether these people are present right now. Yep, Kevin Y3 versus Bandit. It was announced in a broadcast, so we're waiting. So Kevin Y3 is in, let's see, team members. It's easy to see. It's a waterbender, and Bandit's Secret is a waterbender as well. So it would be a waterbending mirror.
Waterbending mirror match. Kevin Y3 is kind of a master of all, alongside the great bending master of the server, Porku. They are both known for being able to pretty much switch between any element and get results. Bandit's Secret more known as a waterbender.
Though carrying the Kyoshi skin, I mean, I am not really too happy with this choice. I mean, or wait, actually, that's not a Kyoshi. It's a Kyoshi warrior skin, seemingly, right?
I'll say that looks more like Suki than it does Kyoshi herself. Though, admittedly, in a Minecraft
non-bender
skin, it is slightly harder to tell. Alright, them both going forward. Oh, the Icicle Spear coming out, but not connecting, creating that small patch of ice on the side of the pond. The octopus form,
very aggressive.
yeah, that octopus form dealing heavy damage. I could not quite tell who was using it there. Kevin appears to be lagging out, though that is unclear.
Yeah,
both,
they are not. And
I believe both players paused thinking the other would. Hold up. Do we have a pause in the match?
I think we are. Yeah.
Yep, I believe we are restarting the match due to lag issues.
No, the bending bar of Kevin Y3 reset for some weird reason. So.
All the move rearrangements. Ooh, that's a rough one. That is a bug that occasionally shows up and makes things very difficult.
So here we can see a relatively smart investment from Bandit Secret. They have 10 points in protection, 45 in strength, and 20 in vitality. And on the other side, we see Kevin Y3 with their set investment, which is full protection, which is very peculiar, as the diminishing effect will probably impact that a lot, and their stat investment won't be as valuable as Bandit Secret's is. So the match has started.
Yep, so apologies there.
No problem. The match has started with Kevin Y3 going a bit more aggressive onto Bandit Secret, but Bandit Secret is staying inside of the water and...
Ooh, that octopus form. Ooh, Kevin is in trouble. But it does finally end. Bandit Secret is being incredibly aggressive this game. Oh, and the healing comes out, and...
Yep, the disconnect.
That is disappointing.
They were about to die anyway.
Yeah, because it did not look like they should have been disconnected there. It appeared that they stood still after creating the cage, but I guess the two moves were just used a little too close together for the game's comfort. Bandit Secret is going to move on. A disappointing turn of events for Kevin, but this is the ruling that was made earlier. There would be no restarts due to disconnects from packet overflow.
We did broadcast this before. We did repeat this every single time. We can't keep on repeating it on every individual occasion, but we did talk about this plenty of times, and it is also up to the person's own responsibility to show up in time for the announcements. We are waiting for the ruling, though. The ruling is made by Cheese. So Cheese gets to decide.
So now Kevin is a former champion of the arena, and it would be very disappointing for them to lose just because of this bug. But that was the decision that was originally made, and it looks like that is the decision that will go forward. Kevin is knocked out of the tournament. Bandit Secret will continue. Though
that was very impressive.
It's but that was an impressive showing from Bandit. I am not disappointed by how that turned out. I think Bandit would have won that match fair and square. So, congratulations, Bandit Secret. Excellent showing of waterbending.
I do want to tell Kevin Y3 that her showing in the first match was really nuts as well. I do want to give her that. That was a very great display of waterbending, the way she moved around Bandit Secret's aggression. But the second match was already basically decided too.
Alright, next we have Benito 2710 versus Bandit Secret? No, I don't think so. I think Bandit just has not been moved out of the arena. It appears that our mods are slacking a little. Bandit Secret having a lot of fun there with that phase change.
Yeah, and Bandit Secret is killed off, so the match is resetting between Benito 2710
and their opponents. Bitsuoni. Hey. Alright, let us get this match started. Non-bender versus water. Now, this is not a common matchup. I'm honestly not sure who has the advantage here, because while a lot of your fire and airbending stuff can be countered by water particles, non-bending not so much. I'm honestly not sure how a lot of their bomb spells, or their bomb moves especially, will interact with the water. We will have to see if proximity mines might come into play here. Starting off, very, very aggressive use of dash. It's only taking the first hit, getting a throwing dagger off. That double dash there.
I'm definitely
getting some slashes in. Hitsuoni is doing exactly what a non-bender should be doing, and that is keeping up the pressure. You can't give waterbenders too much space, or they will heal, or they will spam you out.
So sorry, I was kind of discussing the fight between Bandit Secret and Kevin White 3 a moment ago. So let's move into this fight. I'm sorry, I was kind of ill-minded right there.
That's all right. Benito keeps getting cornered by Mitsune, who is being very aggressive with their dash and slash, which is not a highly recommended strategy. It leaves you very vulnerable to getting poked out like Mitsune is. I am sorry, I'm pronouncing your name multiple ways in the hopes that one of them is correct. But Benito, I'm not sure has a... I'm not sure they have a bucket, because they're only using the one move outside of water. And Mitsune takes the victory. I do like that their skin seems to invoke a samurai with that sword, and that looks very,
pretty.
Very fitting. It's an excellent display. Mitsune will be moving on to the next round. Who appears to be our next matchup, Zuko?
We're waiting right now. Jack versus Mad Jack is what I'm hearing. I don't know whether it's true or not. We're waiting to see Tic Tac Jack versus Jackhammer Jack, if they're both present. Very funny.
Alright, we've got the Battle of the Jacks. Jackhammer Jack, the waterbender, back again. And Tic Tac Jack, I believe, for the first round of this tournament. Both opponents appear to be ready. I believe the edge in this fight might go to Jackhammer Jack, if only because he has already had one match this tournament and is therefore warmed up. He knows what his strategy is. Tic Tac Jack appears to be ready. Do we know what the holdup appears to be?
We're waiting for the ready checks, basically.
Alright, Tic Tac Jack appears to be ready. Jackhammer Jack appears to be ready. Both players dive for that pool of water. Both players take some very quick hits. It looks like Jackhammer Jack has the most hits early on. And
wow, holy moly, that was quick.
I do not feel like he was at full health there. Can we get a
Yeah.
recount on that one, folks? Unless Jackhammer Jack somehow put 150 points into strength, I don't think that's what was supposed to happen there. Feel like that deserves a rematch.
Yeah, one second.
That felt way too fast. Alright, and while Zuko is moving right along and trying to figure this out, I would like to thank another one of our lovely sponsors, the Fancy Man's Clothing Company, creator of such wonderful cosmetic items as the Fancy Man canes and the Republic City Fancy Man top hat with a monocle. The purchase of those items from our server store, if you go to the server website at avatarmc.com, there is a link to the Minecraft store. Those things help keep the server running, help us to eventually upgrade to make sure that we can handle the server capacity. For those of you who have bought or are going to buy cosmetics, it's a wonderful way to help us out, and I would like to thank you for doing so, because it is what keeps us able to host events like this and the server in general. Alright, it appears that the match is about to get back underway. Hopefully Zuko will return in a second. And hopefully they are both sitting at full health now.
Alright, we're actually confirming a restart between Tic Tac Jack against Jackhammer Jack.
Excellent.
Because Tic Tac Jack definitely was not on full HP in that map, and they also confirmed that they were starting on 3 hearts, which I don't understand why they were actually starting on 3 hearts, and why they didn't tell us that they needed to be, healed.
Generally speaking, those running the event are supposed to heal up both players at the start anyway. They're not supposed to just assume everyone's at full health.
Yeah. So let's heal the Tic Tac Jack and Jackhammer Jack right now. Just making sure that they're both healed.
They are good
and
to go, and they are
starting.
going. Jackhammer Jack now taking the early lead. Running
And Tic Tac
Jack
Jack.
in. Oh, but Tic Tac Jack gets that high tide off. Actually, it looks like both players
so
may have
much
just
damage.
used their high tide.
And
because
yeah,
they're
it's true.
I saw some healing there.
Yeah. Oh, and
Tic
Tic Tac Jack.
He attempted to heal
healing.
and got kicked.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough. But
Same issue right here.
But that is the risk you take by trying to heal, especially in the middle of a move like High Tide that moves you around so much.
Exactly. So Jackhammer Jack probably wins this round, just like the previous disconnect as well. We did warn players about this, guys. If you use water healing and you keep spamming moves and you keep moving around, that is going to glitch for now. This is something we've kept on saying over and over and over and over. Jack loses by default. Jackhammer Jack wins by Jackhammer Jack is winning.
The joke,
Jack really
the joke
got messed
was a
up by
lot
Jack.
funnier when it wasn't confirmed which Jack you were talking about.
Yeah. So as previously stated, due to the healing glitch, it is heal at your own risk. Jack loses by default, and we're talking about Tic Tac Jack, who lost because they
Now
used,
we just need to get the next match underway, and we need Jackhammer Jack
to
to
get
be,
moved out.
Yep.
Oh,
removed
and
from the arena.
And the next match is probably going to be Kaljitsu against Bandit Secret. Are they present? Let's see. Yep, Kaljitsu and Bandit Secret.
Yep.
We are moving up to round 3, and we're actually getting closer and closer.
Earth
Let's
versus water. Now, Kaljitsu has had a fantastic server, a fantastic set of matches so far. He has
Yeah.
had a wonderful showing this tournament. Bandit's Secret also doing very well. Their waterbending has been on point so far this tournament. But do you think Cal can keep up his win streak? He has been winning since the very first round.
Alright. They're healed. Let's heal Bandit Secret.
Alright, and there they go.
There they go.
Oh, Bandit Secret immediately jumping forward and going for that octopus form, which
And
targets the nearest
the Shatter
player.
Miss. Look at that Earth Surf though.
Surf.
It's
Like I said
just
before
looks
the
so funny.
tournament, I have the feeling that Earth Surf is going to be so popular just because Earth's only big mobility option otherwise is Catapult.
Yeah, and that just launches them up in the sky.
Yeah, which does launch you a good distance, but has a significant cooldown.
Yeah.
But that Earth Surf can get you across the arena and back pretty quickly.
Barely dodged that boulder toss by that Earth boulder by
These
Bandit
Earth
Secret.
Blasts coming out.
Yeah.
That constant use of Dolphin Dive, both of them trading some pretty even damage. Neither have
This
resulted...
is a very beautiful match.
Oh, what is happening inside? We don't
Can we see
entirely...
it?
Oh, the sandstorm has come out.
But also the
Kaljitsu, I
blizzard.
think, has this one in the bag.
Oh no, Bandit
Oh,
Secret won
No!
because it's a blizzard. Yes.
What? Oh.
It was a blizzard against a sandstorm,
oh
and we
my
all know.
Goodness.
Do always loses.
Oh my
Can we get some
goodness.
do?
I'm
That was
I am fully impressed, though I'm going to jokingly
That
attribute
was
this
beautiful.
to the classic Pokemon type matchup. Water is super effective against both ground and rock. Kaljitsu, that was a beautiful, beautiful set of matches, and I really thought that last sandstorm, you saw the ground changing from stone to sand in preparation for that, but it just did not do enough damage before Bandit Secret was able to end that. I kind of
Would
wish
you
we could have
say
seen what
it did
happened.
not?
What's that?
Would you say it did not do enough damage? I'm sorry. You know, it's the root sandstorm mean we gotta do it. You know, Shooting
right.
Star versus
War. Air versus
Air
non-bender.
versus-
This, in the past, has always kind of come down to a spam match between Air Spear and Throwing Dagger. But with Air Spear and Throwing Dagger's cooldown getting nerfed, this will hopefully result in a little more close quarters matchup.
Ooh,
Or a lot
interesting.
more bombs.
And commentary by GameCube 2. Finally, some old people fighting. Not the age, by the way. I will take it as old either way. Shooting Star, a very old player. No, just kidding. Just messing around. Very friendly player against Lure.
And
So
Lure,
this is a non-bender versus airbending matchup,
which I
where the
believe this
non-bender
is Shoot It Star's first tournament, but War has been in the last couple tournaments. And while he has not exactly placed super highly in the tournaments, he is very experienced in what happens here. And immediately the Throwing Dagger comes out and smacks War, but so does that Air Burst. That Falcon Strike does miss, the Slash also coming out and missing, that Wind Carry putting a little bit of distance between the two.
also missed.
It's like War is
Air
doing
shock.
exactly what an airbender should be doing.
Yeah.
He is keeping his
War
distance,
is
he
pretty-
is constantly moving, and he is throwing out moves when necessary just to, if nothing else, maintain that spacing. He's throwing
This
out
is a
that
very
Air Bolt,
beautiful
though, which
display.
isn't as long range a move as some of Air's others, and gets caught midair.
They're basically trading these strokes left and right. It's very close. It's a very close matchup between both Shooting Star and Wur. Wur is trying to keep his...
It looked like right there the chi
And
blocking
Falcon
came
Strike.
out. Yep, the Falcon Strike, but I thought I
Nice.
saw Wur's focus disappear, so that looked like a chi block.
Nice.
Either a chi block or
We
a
should
disarm.
also... We should also say that Shooting
Oh, the
Star
Wind
has
Slam.
in the Wind Slam. She does, however, spec into movement speed quite heavily, 50 movement speed, in order to try and catch up with this airbender. Very, very attentive of her.
About to say, between the move speed and the dash, was able to get out of that Wind Slam no problem.
So Wur has actually had a more stable distribution of stats, where Wur went for protection, strength, and bending energy,
Oh, there
which is a
goes
weird
that.
combination.
I'll say, I am not sure if
But
that
yeah.
was the wind carry throwing Shoot It into the air, or whether that was them trying to Falcon Strike. If that was a Falcon Strike, it did not land, and that wind carry, maintaining some distance, having some lag issues here, folks. Apologies. Oh,
Oh, there we go.
there we go.
We're continuing. Yep.
Yep, the fight continues. That throwing dagger being a bit of a wild card here because the bounces are not always as consistent. I am appreciating Wur's use of that wind carry to maintain a little bit of distance. And he dodged all of those slashes from Shoot It Star. Very impressive. Oh, that Falcon Strike comes out, and it is over. It does massive damage.
Wow, Shoot It Star winning from Wur. Well played to Shoot It Star, our hero of the
Our hero of the
Iguania.
round, Shoot It Star. That was an excellent, excellent showing, especially for their first tournament.
Representing a beautiful city in the northern, well, near the Northern Water Tribe, Iguania, one of our newer cities. Well played by Shoot It Star.
Milani's an old town, but it has recently grown massively. Alright, now back in the arena for what has to be the umpteenth millionth time at this point. Mystef versus
Throwing around.
Neutrino
Dude.
Boy.
Water versus fire. Let's go once again.
I would just
But
like this
Neutrino
to
Boy
be known
was-
as the Boiling Water Tournament. Oh,
But
Neutrino
Neutrino
Boy
Boy is very
immediately
aggressive.
going for some
Yep.
fire shot spam.
This is very interesting because, you know, Neutrino Boy is known to be in this tournament quite an aggressive player, trying to actually hit a lot of his flame shots. But you can see the fire kick right there. There is a vulnerability in where you aim, and then at a certain point, it's hard to move out of it. So at that point in time, you're kind of stuck in air, and you can't really get out. That's where Mystef actually capitalized, dodged the move, and started retaliating back onto Neutrino
Yes,
Boy.
but those flame shots do still do a significant amount of damage, and will he survive the landing? Yes, he will. Believe that was a shift variant of Fire Jet keeping him in the air.
Yep. Yeah.
But if he can manage to dodge enough of these water moves, he
That
can,
was a very nice
he
fire
can
bit.
maintain the health advantage.
They need to keep pressing onto Mystef, so Mystef cannot just heal for free. Mystef is trying to
Now,
actually.
admittedly, the healing does not appear to be a strategy that any of the waterbenders want to take, and Neutrino Boy does go down. Mystef
Mystef.
coming out on top once again. Another
Well played.
excellent showing. I will go ahead and pick up these
Gee,
eyes.
still a little over half HP left on Mystef too. They have 50 points in strength and 25 points in vitality.
Zenek
Very well
versus
played.
the King, non-bender
Yep.
versus
Earth on a waterbending skin. This makes a lot of sense, ladies and gentlemen. You will only see this on our server.
Zenek has had a very good showing so far. If they will remove the water from the arena,
Yeah, right.
now that we finally don't have a waterbender in there.
Yeah, there they are. They're removing it. Let's go. Twitch.tv/play AvatarMC, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. If you want to watch us broadcast this tournament live to your homes, we hope you're having a lot of fun. We hope the tournament is bringing a lot of enjoyment to every single one of you guys at home. We have been live for a couple of hours by now, but we're still going strong. Another beautiful fight between
Yeah, we've
Earth
been live
and
for about an
non-bending.
hour and a half, maybe.
Well, technically an hour and a half, yes. Hello, GameCube. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for watching. Please consider to follow. We might.
Throwing
put out-
dagger immediately comes out. The match has started.
Yes.
Zinnik already getting in some strong hits. The
The shackle
shackle
misses, though.
misses.
Yeah,
It's like,
but the shatter
Ooh.
hits. That's pretty huge.
ooh, the king.
And now you can see the king is already trying to stay more defensive, less close combat. Basically, the king's objective here in this fight is to keep trying to dodge a lot of these earthbending
Oh, there
moves
comes
while
that
throwing
Falcon
out the
Strike
Falcon Strike
into Slash.
and the slashes.
Yep, but
And
the
now
Earth
he
Armor
has to
comes
get
out,
out.
and the Earth Armor is going to make these hits not as
Now the
impactful
king
for the
has
king.
to Now the king has to disengage, and he keeps going aggressive. I do not like this from the king. They
No,
should
but
wait out
king-
the earth
The king
armor.
did have some heavy damage early on, so what he needs to do is...
True.
Ooh, and the slashes coming back out. I'm liking that
Now is the time.
I'm liking that the throwing dagger is not the bread and butter of non-bending. They are now relying
Yeah.
a little more on that dash and slash.
That's pretty cool. Look at that. There was quite some damage that the king was able to output. But because of the earth armor, a lot of the damage that the king was trying to output was getting negated by the protection that the earth thunder is getting. So
Yep, and
ooh,
oh, the shackle.
hits,
Oh,
and the
and
blast,
there's the
and
shatter.
oh my, oh my.
Oh my,
It's not
but it
looking
looks like
great.
the chi block came out there because Zennik
Ooh,
lost his
yes.
focus for a moment.
Zennik actually jumped up in the
Ooh.
sky, lost all of her.
Oh, there
and
goes
Falcon
a
Strike.
second Falcon Strike, and
And
Zennik
yes!
goes down. The King
How much
824
HP?
moving
2
on.
hearts.
Wait, 2 hearts?
Yeah, not 2 HP, but 2 hearts, right? So we're like 40 HP or something.
That is an
Yeah.
impressive victory. A very close matchup. Honestly, I think that one might be in the running for best match of the night, because that was an impressively close one. Alright, Gentekian finally getting into their first match now that they have an opponent who is here, and they are up against Norby. Earth versus Air.
Norby versus Gentekian. Good luck, ladies and
And
gentlemen.
Norby, also not a stranger to the tournaments. Gentekian is a much newer player. This is their first tournament. Can Norby take this one and move on? I want to give the advantage to Norby, given their experience. The Gentekian, that earthbending is a hard thing to overcome, no pun intended.
We are waiting for the ready checks. Gentekian is admitting fighting a chat moderator is very the chat moderator that introduced Gentekian to the server. So basically it's the student going against their master. Oh boy, what a storyline. I can already see the emotion flowing to these two players. They must be so heavily invested in this fight. They're the master trying to show their dominance.
You can even see a tear already down Gentekian's face.
Yeah.
That is
exactly
too perfect.
Just-
Norby hiding their emotions behind the skull head.
The skull of Atu.
Now let's see.
Wow.
Let's see how these two clash.
Father Lord Ozai is giving us a friendly reminder. If you don't replant at community farms, we can't be friends. So even Ozai wants you to replant at community farms. I mean, if even Ozai says it's good to replant on community farms, you can do it too. So if you take stuff from community farms, ladies and gentlemen, replant, please. Thank you. This message has been brought to you by the Fire Nation capital. Replanting is none of our business. TM. Ding!
Alright. Looks like we're getting started now, and off they go.
Hope so, yes.
The Pebble Gatling gun,
And
that airburst not quite landing. The shackle lands!
Yes! Ooh, and a
Oh,
shatter too, and a coin. But the pebble shots misses. And the wind. No, it was not a
nope,
wind
that was
slam.
an air shock.
Yeah.
It did hit, but it looked like the catapult came out quickly enough that they did not actually take any fall damage from it.
Yeah, well played from Gentekian. Very good start from Gentekian, landing a lot of their shots against Norby.
Yeah,
Norby
but
still
Norby
trying
is still landing that air spear pretty consistently.
that shatter actually seemed to miss because Norby also displaced Gentekian right out, and
Oh
the shackle
no!
hits.
The shackle hits once again, but it was not capitalized on like most of the previous ones.
Norby is getting some positive encouragement from GameCube dude. Norby, you can do this! Yes, we believe Norby can do this as well. We are rooting for Norby, but Gentekian is
And
definitely...
it's like, oh, and it looks like the wind slam came out, but they did cancel it so that they were not locked into the move.
Though the move is now on a very significant cooldown, and that's a big damage move that you're missing for a while.
Oh,
The shackle
and the
does
third
hit too.
shackle
Well
does
played.
not connect, so they did not get the 3 in a row. But, oh, big Earth Shatter coming out.
Is the student able to catch up to their master? The student is definitely hitting hard against the master. The master is bleeding.
It's
The
like,
master
right
is
now,
almost down.
this does appear to be a very heavily weighted match in favor of Gentekian.
And almost the shackle misses for some
It
reason.
almost looked like there was a second shackle there, but I know that was
Yeah.
not what happened. But
Oh,
Norby,
but Norby
goes
does
down.
go down.
The student has surpassed the master.
The
Gentekian
student
getting to move on to the next round after defeating, as we said, the chat mod who introduced them to the server.
well played, Gentekian. We always knew you had it in you. Now on to greater
now Zuko,
challenges.
other than Norby themselves, has a single airbender won their match? Has a single airbender actually won a match?
Well, Bandit's Secret, I think, switched to air, right? Against Kaljitsu, they won their match.
No, they were a waterbender, I thought.
They
Cal.
they are a waterbender. My bad. It was Banana Virus who became an airbender, but they lost. No, they won. Banana Virus won.
All right.
Yep. So that was
So
another
now
case
we
where
have Mitsoni versus
Yella. Yes.
Yella.
Yella. Yes.
Yella. All right. Non-bender versus air.
We saw Banana had waterbending.
Yes, because Yelle lost their match, but was given the pass because their opponent had to leave. But again, Yelle did not go down without a very, very good fight. So
we're talking about airbenders who won their matches, by the way, Kaljitsu. This is a fight between Mitsuoni, the non-bender, against Yella, who's an airbender right now. Again, a fight which is decided upon Yella being able to kite Mitsuoni around and Mitsuoni being able to hit Yella. So I am expecting, and I'm going to look this up, for Mitsuoni to heavily invest into movement speed, which they did not. Actually, Mitsuoni invested heavily into strength with 66 strength and a bit of protection along the side, which is something that kind of disappoints me. They can always go back and reset their stats. They need a lot of movement speed to catch up to the airbender here, and with the 25 stats invested into movement speed by Yella is going to have an easier time kiting Mitsuoni around. Though perhaps some way, maybe Mitsuoni can pin them down, maybe the chi blocking works, and maybe they can actually get a good edge on Yella. So this is still a match that you would be heavily invested into. So let's see what's going to happen between these two admirable players, because they are definitely in round 3. I mean, everybody who got up until this point, and Yella, we saw them fight against Me, the Awesome Kid. That fight was a very close fight that Me, the Awesome Kid indeed won, but barely.
Yep. And off they go. That shield coming out just a little too slow to block that first air spear. The air spear's coming out, the dash being used multiple times. Mitsuoni trying to keep their distance,
And
but
the wind slam
getting
does
caught
hit.
in the wind slam.
And you can see it was on the edge of the wind slam, so perhaps if
Yep.
they had that movement speed to crowd it
Yep,
around
that
and
impact, and
the
no,
air
that Falcon
it-
Strike came out but did not land. It's I believe Yella has a significant advantage currently. That wind slam did a ton of damage.
And you can see that the bending energy regeneration allows Yellow to keep responding sooner, though like the strength means that Mitsuoni is able to hit harder, but he has to still try and land his hits. Even like if that doesn't happen, all of the strength you can have all the strength in the world, you can actually one-shot someone, but if you don't land any hits, you know, you're not going to
Sometimes
do
it
it.
is about sometimes almost like in D&D there's the action economy where the group with has the most moves or the most turns tends to win. And in this case, it is the one who gets the most chances to hit their opponent
And
ends
another
up
wind slam
winning.
hit so hard. Mitsuoni is getting destroyed in this match.
Oh, Misoni goes down. Yele proving that their fortunate buy-in to the next round was not misplaced.
Yes, well played by Yella. Very well played.
Very impressive.
But let's also not forget the crucial mistake in stat investment by Mitsuoni. Mitsuoni,
My ears. Can we
Yeah.
calm it with the fireworks, please?
please, Izumi.
Thank you. I'm not entirely sure who set off the fireworks, but I'm gonna blame Izumi. No, that wasn't Izumi. I
Yeah,
don't know
I'm not
who's
sure.
in there. Alright, next match, Banana Virus versus Kali.
We are healing Kali. We're healing Banana Virus. And you can see Banana Virus is an airbender right now. In the first round, they were a waterbender, but the consecutive rounds they have been an airbender. So that is the second airbender who has won their match, and right now is facing Kali, who they might win against as well. So there is still hope for the Air Nation.
I brought
The
up
air-
has another airbender one because airbending has received several significant nerfs for this tournament. And so airbenders moving on at all still proves that they have plenty of strength left in them.
But I do like what I'm seeing, and Quiet Dove could be correcting me right here. I think they were water in their first match, but Quiet Dove is correcting me, and I will believe Quiet Dove that they were air throughout the entire match. So, but the fact remains that they are winning with airbending, but that wind slam definitely whiffed.
That wind slam also going past the visible range. A very
Yes.
strange bug with it, but ooh, the Dragon of the West being used. Not a common move to see within the tournaments. It's a very risk-reward move, but they were able to take several good hits with it.
So we do see Kali using some flare blitzes every now and then, trying to poke down. Oh my god, such a beautiful solar burst.
A solar...
Banana Virus
Okay, so what happened there? The solar burst got used, and then they got carried out of the middle of it, but the solar burst continued to go. So Banana Virus was not able to react quick enough to get out of it.
Well played by Kali.
It's like that was
a
an
lot of
interesting move interaction
and
that
another fire
that they
armor is
could be picked up and thrown out of their solar blitz while they were using it. And the
hit.
fire rain tracking him down, taking him out,
Oh,
and
hey.
Kali moves on to the next round. An impressive display of firebending and a very strange interaction between a solar burst and wind carry. And can we cool it with the fireworks? They're very pretty. Oh, that's Clearwater.
Clearwater doing that.
Stop it. Okay. Moving right along, we have Hub City Hero versus Jackhammer Jack, another water mirror match. We will let the ominous music take over here. Let's get some panning going.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jack Hammer Jack against
Hub City Hero.
Yes, exactly. And it's water versus water.
Water
Another
versus
one of those.
water. Relative newcomers both to the tournament, but both have had very impressive displays up till now. Again, if I had to give an edge to either, it would only be Jackhammer Jack because he's been in more matches this tournament, has had a little more practice so far. They're both coming out and hitting quite hard. Jackhammer Jack getting some very solid hits in.
Yeah, and this is once again one of those. They are
Jackhammer
using
Jack.
betting.
No!
Yep.
They used heal and they got disconnected. No!
They
Hub
did.
City Hero is going to move on due to technical difficulties.
We did warn everybody about this before. Don't use water healing with while spamming a move, and we saw their hand spamming the next move right after it, and we told them about this. And this is an instant disqualification afterwards.
And again, folks, this is the reason we're adding all of these changes and moves to this tournament, is so that we can test to make sure we know what's going wrong. Now that we know what's causing the problem, we can hopefully, before release or the next tournament, whichever comes first, we can resolve the issue. Hub City Hero, congratulations. You were definitely holding your own there. That was an unfortunate disconnect from Jackhammer Jack. I do believe he was holding the advantage there until that disconnect. Disappointing to see, but it does happen.
And our next fight is Bandit Secret versus Shoot It Star. And RIP, sorry for Juke06, I guess that's Jack. Because of the blood bug, and they actually misclicked, sadly.
Yep.
They didn't heal.
That didn't seem. Again, they were winning there. I don't think that was a necessary use of heal at all. Shoot It Star and Bandit Secret. Non-bender versus waterbender. Again, an interesting matchup given how water tends to interact with the projectiles from other bending styles. It tends to block fire and it tends to block air. But the bombs of non-bender are a little different.
Wait. Interruption. Give me a second. I need to interrupt this real quick. I'm gonna have to talk with Cheese about something real quick.
Okay. And while our lovely co-host Firelord Zuko is gone, I would once again like to thank everybody on the stream for coming out. Y'all being able to watch is much appreciated. If you have any suggestions for how we can improve the stream in the future, let us know. We are working on getting some assets set up for technical difficulties, and we'll be right back and all that sort of stuff. But if there's anything that we can improve on, let us know. Please give us a follow if you are enjoying the content. And if you want to join the server yourself, the IP is AvatarMC.com. And once you are on the server and have your element, you can /server event to join and watch the tournament in person. You will not get to hear our lovely commentary, though, if you do that, which may or may not be a bonus depending on your opinions. I'd like to go ahead and pan the camera across the audience. Hello, everybody. Smile for Twitch. Alright. It does appear that we are about ready to roll. Bandit Secret doing interpretive dance. Shoot It Star attempting to break the block under their feet. Let's see. Hopefully, whatever is happening will get resolved here very soon.
By the way, Vince, we
Yes.
are removing the healing spell move basically from players' bending focuses at each start of the fight right now.
Okay.
So every waterbender that's going to participate in a fight right now will have their water spell removed from their bending move removed from their bending focus. My client was glitching out, so I had to restart it.
That's alright. And admittedly, they could have done the exact same thing by sticking it in their player inventory instead of on their hotbars, so to avoid that. But hey, some
people aren't aware of it apparently.
Yep, but some people were attempting to use it anyway, so
yeah,
it's like. But it was unfortunate that the last round ended due to a misclicking of the move.
Yeah, true. And we always look for ways to improve, right? But at the same time, we are still broadcasting this event. This is super new for us, for both of us right now. I have never casted an event at all before. I'm not sure about you, Vince, but this is completely new for me.
I can't say I have, but I think things are going very well. We just need to get a slightly nicer setup. I do wish that for casting purposes we could maybe get the players' health bars showing up during a match. But that
I would like that too.
But that is a difficult thing to implement, so we will probably not get that anytime soon. Because I think part of the thrill in the fight is not knowing how far ahead you are.
Yeah, that is also true.
Because it means you have to constantly be cautious, and away we go. Dolphin Dive coming out, that first dagger, that second dagger missing, the octopus form coming out, the Falcon Strike silencing the octopus form. Very, very quick fire turn of events. Bandit Secret staying very mobile with the Dolphin Dive. And Shoot at Star just keeping their distance, throwing out daggers, and trying not to get hit. Another good throwing knife hit coming out there.
Alright, I'm back in, so I can see it too. Shoot a Star against Bandit Secret, a non-bender versus a waterbender. It's one of those pokey.
The bomb coming out and throwing Bandit Secret out of the water. And it looks like another missed Falcon Strike. Bandit Secret trying to go in for the Dolphin Dive plus Octopus Form combo. And Shoot at Star falling. Bandit Secret once again coming out on top, doing a fantastic job. How on earth are Banana Virus and Tic Tac Jack on the outside of the arena like this?
This is very weird, but they are not able to get in because
they're not able to get in, but for some reason they are on the outside of the arena, which is not where they're supposed to be. Huh. But anyway, an excellent showing from both of our combatants. Shoot at Star, you did very good. Because we're in round 4 at this point, right?
Yeah, I think so. Just making sure that everything is clear among staff members. We're now, this was round 4, so Bandit Secret is moving on to the semifinals. Holy moly. Well played by Bandit Secret. The waterbender in the semifinals, one against the non-bender. What can we see from Mistaf versus the King? Water versus
non-bending.
Non-bending again, once again.
I feel like I'm just listening to an echo right now.
Yeah,
though
that's great.
though I will hand it to them that my stuff is a very different waterbender to Bandit Secret. It's like my stuff is one of the scariest people to go up against in these tournaments or the server arenas. They are very good at what they do.
All right.
Hopefully we'll be getting
It seems
started
like the
here
players.
soon.
Yeah.
Oh, there
so,
they go.
Yep.
The poison dart comes out but misses.
Some swipes
Splash
coming
lands, water bolt lands. Oh, that steam explosion. Ooh, my
Wow.
stuff dealing massive damage there and blinding the king.
Well, basically, the king has to try and get close to my stuff, but the problem is that once he gets close, they get hurt really badly because my stuff is really good with their aim. So my stuff is already in lead with their health total by now.
Yep, the only thing you can do is potentially bomb spam them. But that is a risky game to play because the bombs have long cooldowns and don't necessarily do a whole lot if they don't land. That was a very good block, but and down
it was
he
just very
goes.
rough.
That was
Well
a very
played by the
rough
king.
matchup. My stiff doing a very good job of keeping the king on their toes. The king was just not quite able to keep up with my stuff's aggression. One of these days, we'll let the fireworks.
Okay.
We're just gonna move over here for now. Alright, next up in round 4, Gintekian versus Gila 964. An air versus water matchup. Or no, an earth versus water matchup. Sorry, Gintekian is an earthbender. My mistake. Air versus earth. Polar opposites, just as water and fire going against each other. Always an interesting matchup. And the match has begun. Out comes an air spear immediately. The Pebble Gatling gun does land. The wind carry does not make its mark. Oh, so the wind slam comes out.
Actually, wow. So, yeah, exactly. Airbending against earthbending once again. So airbending is trying to deal swift blows, and the air surface coming out with the shackle missing. But yeah, airbending is trying to poke in bursts onto earthbending when earthbending has their big cooldowns up, so they can't actually fight back onto the airbender. One of those examples is, for example, the earth shackle missing a moment ago there. But it's probably also back off cooldown, so we are expecting to see an earth shackle anytime now. The coin has been thrown out, some pebble dazes.
That was a Pebble Gatling gun.
Another
there
shackle.
Comes the shackle.
Ooh, wait,
and
what?
it barely misses.
Miss?
I think it.
Wow.
I think that the hitbox there is actually slightly shorter than the range that the projectile does move. So I think he was just out of range for that one. Otherwise, he would have been hit head on there.
Both of these players
he
dealing.
He appears to be dodging directly into.
Oh, and another
hits,
wind slam though.
But the wind slam comes out, dealing hefty damage. He did not cancel out of the wind slam, leaving himself vulnerable, and the earth shackle will finish it off.
Well played by Gintekian.
Taking a very well played match against Yele. Or Yella. Next, moving on to Kali the Firebender versus Hub City Hero. Now, Hub City hopefully isn't feeling too bad about that last match, resulting in a victory due to a disconnect from their opponent. And once again, the theme of the tournament, water versus fire.
Yeah, let me just go ahead and remove the healing, water healing.
Here. I'm gonna
There we go.
slightly turn down the music on my end. Alright.
Alright, we are now facing another fire versus water battle, and as said before, basically the firebender is trying to, without the access to water healing, now actually is going to have a different matchup, because the waterbender is not going to even depend on water healing anymore.
At this point, it has turned into a pure DPS race of who can deal the most damage the fastest. Because while waterbenders can still technically heal with the area heal, if the firebender stays close enough, then they will receive the healing from it too. So it's a very risky play for waterbenders to go for it, and it has a much longer cooldown.
Though firebenders have a higher DPS, if you really look at the moves themselves, waterbenders have the advantage that they are in water, so a lot of the firebending moves are just unable to hit. Stuff like Firebomb and Fire Rain are not able to hit, so this is why you see all those...
Firebomb won't hit, Fire Rain won't hit, and the biggest kick in the pants for them is that stuff like Flame Slash will hit, but it won't do most of its damage because it won't set you on fire.
So, also a correction from Bandit Secret in our Twitch chat telling us that Area Heal doesn't heal the Waterbender, so it's not really useful for the Waterbender to even use that move.
Okay, my mistake. I thought that Area Heal did heal the user, and oh, Kali takes it!
And Kali, the Firebender, in the semifinals, making me proud. Kali, I am rooting for you. Firebenders, unite! GG, Kali, I am very proud of you. Well played.
An excellent, excellent showing by Kali. And I believe that was the last round, or the last fight of round 4?
Water versus water, and it's earth versus fire. Very interesting. Hello, Markdamp. Welcome to the stream. Let's make our boy Markdamp... we give our boy Markdamp some permissions right here. Let's see. Mod Markdamp.
Alright. Moving on to the first of the semifinals. Mystiff versus Bandit Secret.
Alright.
Two of our more prominent waterbenders at this moment on the server.
This is a very interesting battle. Bandit Secret has proven themselves fight after fight that they are very, very good and agile and dodge a lot of the moves against Mistef, who doesn't seem to miss anything. So this is a very, very interesting matchup. Battle of Titans.
Alright, there they go, dashing past each other. The steam explosion coming out from Mystiff, not entirely sure whether that was intentional.
But you can see how Bandit Secret is moving, so agile.
Bandit Secret being very agile, very fast, not giving Mystiff a moment's
And that hit too, that hit from the sky, that was just so epic, such a beautiful move.
Though handing it to Mystiff, that steam explosion placement was amazing.
That
making
was
sure
well
that Bandit
Mystiff.
Secret stayed in it for just a few seconds, but it does hit hard and it does blind the person hit.
This water versus water battle, they're both on water, but are they going to choose a different source type, or are they going to stick with water? Water allows them to move and do everything that they want, but you know, the other elements, the other subcategories bring in that little bit of a difference that might actually make the
slow effect that generally gets added from using ice as your source, and the poison that you get from using leaves can change the flow of the fight pretty quickly. And
Bandit Secret does go down. Well played by Bandit Secret. Holy
very well
moly.
played match. Mystiff.
And Mystiff is our victor.
It's like, did he use the icicle spear to finish the fight? Because
There was a water bolt that had the finishing blow.
all right, it was a water
And
bolt.
yeah,
Still
it's
an
a water bolt,
excellent-
but
I
well
had the
played by
camera a
my
little
staff, heading
too
on
far
into the
out there.
finals. Well played.
Yep, congratulations, my stuff, for making it through the semifinals.
Even an admin is putting their money on my staff. My staff is landing their shots beautifully.
My
Mark them.
stuff has. It's like, yes, I know he's done well in tournaments past, but this I think is probably one of his best showings yet. Now we have
Yeah.
Kali versus
I agree with
Gentekian. If we can get
Ooh.
water removed, since there is no waterbender, we will see whether we're getting a classic water versus fire matchup in the final, or water versus earth.
Hub City Hero is rooting for Kali and is asking Kali, like requesting from Kali, please don't make me lose in vain. As Hub City Hero lost to Kali a couple of rounds ago, I think. Oh no, a previous round even. And Kali is starting off with a fireball. We see him trying
The
to
earth
dodge
blast,
around.
something
That's a
something lit
beautiful
Gentekian on fire.
Yeah, that was a
But
beautiful
Gentekian
fight.
hitting some very, very heavy damage right there. Gentekian
Yep.
landing constant damage right there. My goodness, Kali is going to have to fight from behind because
And that Earth Surf coming in clutch, that bending move is what the Earthbenders need to get closer to the battle. And you can see Kali is doing their best. They are doing their best to get away from Gentekian. But it is a very, very rough fight. This is what I feel like, especially when I fight as a Firebender against Earthbenders.
oh
and
no,
now
and the Earth Shackle comes out. Is the retaliation going to no? It's like
No,
there goes
no
the
shackle
there goes
there.
the shatter finally, but
Yeah.
the shatter did not do as much as we were kind of hoping there.
you can see
Oh,
how
and that
stretched
shatter
Kali-
with that low energy did not have the range to hit Kali.
So you can see Kali is fighting as really scared and is fighting in a really stressed manner. This means that Kali is probably low HP at this point in time. We cannot really know, but it seems to look very grim for Kali. Can they keep dodging and weaving their attacks? Can they keep trying to put up this upset against Gentekian, because they are on the
They
back
might
foot?
need to pull out a panic solar burst here just to get that damage off.
Definitely a wise
Especially
choice.
with
oh
no,
oh
Kali
no,
goes down.
More player Bender. He
We-
lost in the semifinals. Though
We have
very
been
well
deprived of having the meme of the night, a final versus fire and water. But Gentekian proving themselves very, very nicely there with an excellent showing. As I honestly,
Well played.
fantastic earthbending. Keeping up that pressure against a firebender is no small feat.
Alright, Missteps bending focus does not have water healing in it anymore. We've removed it already previously, so this is Gentekian versus Misstep. We are trying to... this is going to be an epic battle. Let's not forget about what these two have accomplished thus far. In the 2 hours that this tournament has lasted, we have now arrived at the final. And this is what it all boils down to. An earthbender and a waterbender. We wouldn't have ever expected. We didn't have a lot of turnout from earthbenders. Firebenders went down and the match has started.
Alright, a lot of very rapid move uses from Gentekian. Not a single point of damage has been dealt at this point. This is impressive. Okay,
Both players
Gentekian
are
finally takes the
super
first
good.
hit. Maestiff finally
But
lands
deals back
something,
the
but
blow.
Gentekian does land a hit in return.
Oh, so Pebble Days' hit. That was pretty nice as well, but you can see both of these players are playing to their absolute
Oh
max.
no, and
the shackle hits.
Maestiff gets hit
Beautiful
with
poke
the
from
shackle.
Gentekian
Yes,
too.
the poke from Gentekian, very, very impressive right there.
Gentekian is basically playing this as a firebender at this point in time. Basically
Yes,
just
I-
poking Misstep.
Yes, the constant use of the dodge move, the constant jumping around almost like firebenders do with Fire Jet, and the constant spamming of their damage moves. Pebble Gatling Gun is honestly a very underused move for Earthbenders, but it has been getting a lot of use in this tournament so far from the Earthbenders who are here, and it shows. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does restore some of your bending energy, and it's really low cooldown. It can be spammed.
So we can see Gentakian still dodging left and right, but gets hit with a couple of them.
Mystef's picking up some more steam here.
Oh,
Gentakian's
definitely
making
right
some
now,
mistakes. Gentakian is losing a little bit of their luster here.
But you can see they're basically dancing. That surf
Look
could
at
cast
that.
instantly,
Oh,
but another
and there it
tackle
goes,
hit,
and
and the
there
shatter,
goes the
and the
shatter.
bolt, and a coin. Wow, well played. Holy moly.
Yes, that is
That
how
was a
you
punishment.
punish people. Yes, exactly. What you have to do is punish them as soon as they get hit by it, because that is what gives you your biggest burst of damage as an Earthbender. Now, going out with the Earth dodges.
We can see right now
Yep.
that this fight is still so close.
Oh,
and
Gentakian goes down. Mystef is our
Water
champion.
well played to my staff. Well played.
Absolutely
This was a very deserved
amazing
win.
final match. Honestly, Zuko, it's like, are you in agreement with me that that was probably the best fight of the year?
Definitely agree on that. This was a beautiful displayment, a beautiful display of how an Earthbender has to adjust how they play the game in order to deal with a Waterbender who is very strong on their own terms. You cannot get too close to a Waterbender, but once you punish them, you actually can really, get everything together and unleash like huge earth boulders on them. But that Waterbender inside of the water that keeps poking, that keeps trickling you down, was very well played. Mystef hit his shots more than Gentakian did. Well played.
And
GG.
Gentakian did seem to have the advantage on
Yeah.
moves hit at the start, but his accuracy did fall off there as time went on. Very, very impressive. Everybody in the arena now just having themselves a grand old time. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. I'd like to congratulate our first, second, third place winners. Everyone had a very, very good tournament this time around. We apologize for the bugs involved with Water Heal. We will be looking to fix those here soon now that we are aware of them.
And if you feel like you've encountered some unbalanced properties, some bending moves, or some stats being a bit overpowered or underpowered, if you feel like you have any concerns regarding that, you can always check out on our Discord. Our Discord is, give me a second, get a link real quick, can be found on our website too. You can just go to our website. I think that's easier.
Yep, AvatarMC.com.
Yeah, AvatarMC.com. And on our website, you'll be able to find our Discord link. In that Discord server, you can actually see a suggestions channel. If you have any suggestions with regards to what you saw here, please let us know. And please don't say a fix of water healing, because we are aware. We are aware that this bug exists. We recently became aware of it right as we were setting up the event. We didn't know it was going to be an issue until we actually did some practice matches earlier today. But we've been pretty swamped with a lot of work, so it's
We
been
are
a bit
hard
rough.
at work on the upcoming release that we have already put a teaser for if you want to look back in our announcement channel on Discord. And I believe
also,
there is a blog post on the website.
Yeah. Well
All
played
right.
by every single contender. Yeah, and again, we are sorry for the way this happened. We're definitely looking to improve in the future. We will be seeing how to approach these matters in the future. If you have suggestions regarding that, it's fine too. You can post those in Discord as well. But our stance on this was that we wanted players to still interact with this reworked water healing, but it turned out to be so buggy, and especially with lots more people online, it was a bit more laggy. So people did think that they were probably using a bending move right after, but I guess the timer wasn't over yet. So we will need to look into that. We are definitely going to look into fixing that. Well
All
played
right.
by every single player. It was a blessing to see all of you guys compete.
All
GG's.
right.
Yeah.
And if you join our Discord, you will get the announcement for when the next tournament or other server event will be happening. We will hopefully be hosting another event here in the near future. But I think in the meantime, I think this is a good place to cut it off.
By the way, if you want to really have some bug reports or suggest some things, I would suggest pinging at GoCow on Discord, who just pinged me right now to fix water healing. This is why you should be pinging at GoCow. He is the head of our development team. Make sure that if you have any minuscule issues that can be solved with the plugin, or if you have any suggestions, ping him. This will
I
be
would like to go ahead and clarify that my good friend Zuko here is memeing Guokao is the single busiest person on the entire team. Please do not bother him with petty things. And with that, I think we will cut the stream. Good night / good morning to everyone. We will see you next time.